Well, obviously, we're very disappointed in the ball game. The AutoZone and the Liberty Bowl people have been very, very gracious to us. Our players have enjoyed that aspect of it. I don't believe the social aspect of it had anything to do with our performance this evening. I think our youngsters tried hard to prepare themselves well and separate the fun time from the preparation. So that certainly wasn't it. But the bowl people have treated us extremely well. We just didn't hold up our end of the bargain.
Bill, could you just talk a little bit about Arkansas, the strength at the point of attack when they need it? The strength of Arkansas at the point of attack when they need it, and then the speed that they have for elements of their offense, how difficult it is to deal with.
Well, Arkansas is an extremely fine and talented football team. We play a lot of extremely fine and talented football teams during the course of the year, and Arkansas fits in that group, extremely well. But once again, it wasn't Arkansas; it was us. And but that's the way it is every ball game. It truly is about your level of preparation and performance. And our youngsters prepared well. We didn't coach them very well today, and that created some issues for us. I thought coming back in the second half, we do have a bunch of young guys that are going to compete, not going to give in. And I certainly, they didn't, and then they closed it to 4, and then the wheels fell off.
This is for Coach Schneider and both you guys on defense. What do you think of Alex Collins today? What impressed you about him, and what kind of difference maker was he today for Arkansas?
Who's that for? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was for them. What? Say it again.
Sorry, just wonder what you thought about Alex Collins, number 3 for Arkansas, what his impact was, and what impressed you about his game.
Well, I think he wasn't any different than what we saw on videotape. He's a very explosive young guy. He runs downhill extremely well, but he can make you miss. I mean, he's an extremely talented young guy. As you look across, and I mean, you have a plethora of exciting and talented running backs in the SEC, and he's at the top of the list. I think he's just a very, very talented young guy. He got a lot of help too up front. They got some pretty good sized young guys in there, but he breaks a lot of tackles and makes you miss when he gets on the edge. He's one of those guys. I think he's got a lot of talent in terms of change of direction and athletic ability, that maybe sometimes goes unnoticed when you're carrying that kind of size around with you. So he can handle it all. He can run downhill hard, and he can get on the edge and make you miss, and he did.
What I noticed about Alex today, he has great vision, especially when he's trying to pick a hole from his offensive lineman. His offensive lineman did a great job blocking us today. But other than that, he just had great vision for where the holes were, and he picked the right gaps.
Yeah, I think he also had great patience, for a big back. You expect him just to hit the hole hard every time, but he read his blocks and, had times we could cut back or hit the hole hard. And so he did a great job of being patient for his blockers. And when he had to hit the hole hard, he hit it hard. So, I mean, he had a huge impact. Like Coach said, he broke a lot of tackles, made a lot of big plays for his team.
This is for Travis and Morgan. Matthew McCrane hits that field goal to make it 31-23. You guys pulled within that, and then Coach mentioned the wheels kind of came off. Henry had that 43-yard catch, and then Collins had that touchdown run right after that. Can you just walk me through that scenario and what kind of difference that made in the game?
My approach, and I think I try to deliver that to the team and the defense anyways, is that we've been there before with Iowa State. We've been in that position. We understand what we had to do, and they made the plays where they needed to make the plays. And unfortunately, I missed a tackle on the goal line for Alex to score. So, they just made plays when they needed to.
Yeah, we just got to make a stop, as a defense. That's how you win ball games, is you stop their offense, and they continue to make big plays when they needed to. And, that deep ball down the field was huge for them. And I don't think our defense ever gave up, but I think that kind of killed our momentum in a lot of ways. And so, I'm proud of our defense and how we continue to fight to the very end, and that's kind of been how we've been the whole season. So.
For Coach, what made you go with Cody at quarterback today? And Cody, what was it like for you? How big of a change was it to play the whole game at quarterback as opposed to receiver?
Well, I mean, Cody was on the field today because the way he's practiced and prepared himself. I thought he had really, when we were back in Manhattan, he practiced extremely well. When we got down here, practiced even better. He just earned the right to be there.
Like I've said a lot of times, the biggest difference is that you just touch the ball every play as opposed to not touching the ball. A lot of the things are the same. The quarterback and receivers are on the same page. A lot of the schemes and concepts that we run. As far as just emotionally, it's different for you're touching the ball every play, and you got to stay in check, and you're not really as intense, I would say, because you're trying to stay focused. But other than that, a lot of it I think is the same. You just got to go out and compete and just have the same attitude that we have in every game.
Cody, we talked at Media Day about you stepping into that role that Curry Sexton and Tyler Lockett had been at the wide receiver position. Here we are, end of the season, and you start in the Liberty Bowl at quarterback. Did you ever imagine at any point in your K-State career that you would be starting at quarterback?
No. I didn't. I just try to do what my team needs me to do, and I just try to fit wherever they need me to fit at. And it just happened to be quarterback the last couple games, and in practice and stuff. I kind of envisioned myself just stepping into Curry's role this season, and obviously with injuries and stuff that didn't happen. But I'm thankful for the opportunity God gave me, whether it was at receiver or quarterback. He just put me in a position to be successful, and just tried to take advantage of the opportunity when it was there.
For Travis and Morgan, for Travis, what was it like not having Will out there with you? And for Morgan, what was it like not having Duke on the other side?
We always have that next man up philosophy, and Will's a great player. He really could have been an asset for us this game, but you just got to play with what you got. And we had Matt in there, and unfortunately he went down, and then Craig Settles, he came in and he held his own. So I miss Will not being there, but you can't approach that. You can't let it phase you. So you gotta do your job, as we always say.
Yeah, and as far as Duke, obviously you missed Duke, and Duke had a lot of great games down the stretch. We made a lot of big plays, and so obviously I missed him. But I think Donnie Starks did a great job of filling in, and that's kind of been the story of our season. We had about 1,000 different players play at corner and safety and nickel, and so each guy steps up and fills the role well, and I think we have a lot of depth, which is helpful. And so obviously we miss Duke, but Donnie did a great job, and we just kind of rotated when it came to different packages, and so I think everyone across the board just did a great job today.
Yeah. Bill, I just wanted to ask about those two guys, about Will and Duke and their status and why they weren't available.
Well, they're just unable to play.
Cody, you've gotten to know Winston pretty well via the past season. I was wondering if you could walk me through that, another long touchdown pass to Winston, and just what that relationship has been like with him, and what you foresee for him moving on.
I think Whitney's a great young player. Obviously, he's a first-team Big 12 this year, and just to step into that role at fullback and split time with Grunk, and then to still be so successful and have all the accolades that he did, I think that's very impressive. Whitney's a great kid. He plays a lot of spirit, and he has a good attitude, and he just brings it every day. And you guys see it on the field. Like, he has big play after big play, at least one or two a game, and that just happened to be another one. We just called the right play at the right time, and Whitney made a great catch and run.
Hey, Morgan, I wondered if you could talk about how creative they got on kickoffs, maybe kicking away from you, and how creative you guys had to get trying to get you guys the ball. Yeah,
they kind of spread the ball around all over the place. They did pooch kicks and kicked it deep a few times and then squibbed it. We wouldn't get creative until at the very end there. We tried to throw it back. We just tried to catch it and make whatever we could, and that's all we really could do. Was try to make something happen. Obviously, the play at the end there didn't work, but that's something we had practiced leading up to this week and just didn't work out. But, I think kickoff return did a great job. I think we had a lot of yards and put offense in a lot of good positions. So I'm proud of those guys and how they played today.
All three of the players, guys, how do you feel like you've left this program in what kind of shape do you feel like it's in moving forward, and what do you hope that your legacy is with this program moving forward?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I want my legacy to be that, a guy who worked hard every day consistently, a guy who showed heart, never gave up, and again, that's kind of the story of our season is continue to persevere and show heart. And so I think me personally, I could say for both these guys, Travis and Cody, those guys never gave up. Cody cares more than anyone in the world on the team. Same with Travis. Those guys work hard, and if someone wants to remember me for anything, it's just that I worked hard and poured myself out for the team.
We have one final question that's going to go right here. If you had your hand up.
Looking back on the matchup, Coach, just what was the toughest thing about it that Arkansas presented to you?
Well, that's a multitude of questions in one, Kellis. I think it was evident on the field. There were just certain things that Arkansas did that we didn't play well against. There's some of those bootleg type passes that promoted some, a substantial number of completions and some major plays in the ball game that we had some difficulty with. We had a pretty good understanding of what we were going to see, so that kind of falls back on us as coaches, to make sure that we can make the adjustments to those things. I think, if the question, alludes to, the physical nature of Arkansas, they certainly are, a very physical football team, but I think our guys were inspired to play that way. And I think for the most part did, on both sides of the ball. I think, in the kicking game, alluded to the kickoff returns, Morgan did, and but we knew, that was coming. That they're, probably not going to kick the ball to Morgan, and consequently, we had to make do with what we could, but we were well prepared for it, and as Morgan indicated, we're getting the ball back to the 35, 40-yard line, so those are substantial returns for the most part. But that was something that we had to prepare for as well. But I don't think Arkansas, and all due credit to them, they came out and played their game. It wasn't, they didn't do anything that we hadn't looked at and hadn't seen offensively or defensively, and they just did it extremely well.
Coach, thank you. We have two presentations to make. The first is to Cody Cook, Offensive Player of the Game for K-State, and to make that presentation is David Cook, General Manager of Bass Pro Shops here in Memphis. David, if you'll come on up. David was the host for the team welcome party. Cody, come on down. We're going to do it right down here out front.
Cody. All right.
Dave Hagel, Cody Cook, thank you. And to make the presentation to Shermichael Moore, come on up. And to make that presentation on behalf of the Governor's Highway Safety Office is Bill Giles from AutoZone, our title sponsor. Thank you. Coach, again, thank you.
Thank you very much.